And so I sat down and was talking with Bill Hoffman, and he said, "What do you do?" And I said, "I'm a playwright." And he said, "Do you know the Caffe Cino?" And I said, "No, I've never heard of it. I've been in town about a week, And he said, "Well, you got to go down to the Caffe Cino. They love new writers." They passed a basket afterwards, and we all split, the cast and director and playwright. And we figured out that we got about $15 a week each, which was almost enough to live on back then, but not quite.
I started to make a list of the things that you had written about.
Yeah.
Where's my little list? Politicians, antique dealers, Navajo medical students, Catholic priests, .com millionaires, country singers who are mining heiresses, homeless Vietnam vets, teachers, Asian Americans, Colombians, Midwesterners, prostitutes, thieves, poets, choreographers, amputees, addicts, transvestites, Lithuanian Jewish communists.
All of those are interesting to me except one. You hit one thing that I really wasn't interested in, but I had to have it in there anyway.
How in the world do you throw your voice to those places? How do you do that?
I think that I was so ashamed for not really finishing college that I read like a maniac. And I read everything. And a lot of things interested me.
Lance, what would you say is the most difficult aspect of writing a play?
The hardest part about writing a play for me is getting the idea, is the very beginning, is just starting to write. You were around Circle Rep. I went around saying I shouldn't write. I never, I don't have an idea. I shouldn't have started. They expect me to start. I'm not a playwright. They expect me to keep doing this. And I used to say that I would write a monologue until someone said, "Oh, would you shut up?" And then you'd have 2 points of view, right?
That's great.
And that's conflict.